Good morning, Delaware. What's going on? Is your main man, Big Iv, the talking to town, Mr. DETV. So Delaware, get ready for this amazing masterclass in hustle, flavor, and culture. Joining us this morning is a powerhouse entrepreneur who's turned chips into a cultural movement and built a brand that speaks directly to the streets, the studios, and the boardroom. Now, look, this guy is straight out of Philadelphia, so I cannot wait to have this conversation. Today, we're talking about none other than James Lindsay, the visionary, the founder, the CEO of Rap Snacks. And I gotta say, James, welcome to Good Morning Delaware. I'm hearing you're in town coming, April 14th at DSU for the Innovation Venture. I'm excited that you're here. How are you doing today, James?
Now, I'm doing fantastic. And first of all, thank you guys for having me on your show. Look forward to having a great discussion with you.
Oh, awesome, awesome. So, all right, let's just hop into it, because what I love is entrepreneurship, and I love how cats like us can come from the hood, right, and then go to HBCU and then come out and really change the world, man. So you're a Philadelphia native, right?
Absolutely. I grew up in North Philadelphia, actually. Went to Ben Franklin High School, left there and went to Cheney University.
Now, and I got to ask you, because this is also wrapped around HBCUs. What did that HBCU? What did they teach you, and how did it contribute to your hustle?
Well, actually, this is a funny story. I went to a school first before I got to Cheney. Mm-hmm. It was called Delaware Valley, on a basketball scholarship. Went there for about a year, transferred to Cheney University, and instantly I felt the connection of, just a cultural connection, just a lot of support. And, I think when we have that with our kids and they feel comfortable, a lot of times your creativity and some of the things that you have never tapped into becomes available to you.
No, I get it. I'm with you. I'm DSU all day, right? I attended DSU, and one thing that I say, like DSU, I'm DSU made, and it's one of the biggest reasons why I am who I am today. That hustle, that culture, just that whole thing, right? And I want to ask you, so Cheney University to Rap Snacks, right? Well, was it Johnson Products and then Rap Snacks?
Absolutely.
So
yes, yeah.
How did that happen? How did that transition happen?
Yeah, I went from, graduating from Cheney University and got a job with Johnson Products. And, fortunately for myself, I worked under Mr. Johnson, who we all know was a, Black pioneer in health and beauty aids back in, years and years ago. And I was able to use him as, a mentoring, opportunity to see somebody that looks like me, someone who speaks like me, and someone who really really took, something and kind of made it into something. So I felt like it gave me the confidence to know that if this brilliant Black man could do something like that, I can do it too. Wow. So it really gave, like my entrepreneur bug just really grabbed me, after I started working for him.
Now, when you get down to DSU, right, that same energy that same thing is going to happen, right? The students are going to see a young brother, right, that's been doing his thing, that's been working with some of the top names in the industry with this new product, right? So you go from Johnson to Rap Snacks. How did that idea? I love to sit with entrepreneurs, right, like you. How did you come up with that idea? Because you got everything against you, right? But you I got this idea, I got a product. So my question is, how did you come up with the idea, and then how did it go from idea to fruition?
Yeah, that's kind of rewind a little bit. So, as a kid growing up in the inner city, I was really one of them kids that loved to snack. I would snack, buy potato chips and snack foods when I go in the morning to go to school, recess, and when I come home. So that love was always there. And then on top of that, I had a love for music. Mm-hmm. And when rap music started coming out, I felt like, wow, this is something that can change the world. So I got one of these bright ideas, like to combine, my love, for snacking and my love for music. And here we have rap snacks. It was born.
Now, some of the people that you work with, Cardi B, the Migos, Little Baby, it's definitely been a part of this. What was it like, just like reaching out to them? Did you say, hey, I got an idea, this is something I'm doing? Like, what was that like, that moment like?
So, I repackaged rap snacks in 2016.
Okay.
For that, I managed Meek Mill, for like 8, 9 years. Got to know a lot of people in the industry, and I felt like it was a time for me to go back in business for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I never stopped doing rap snacks, but I never did it at a high level like I'm doing it right now, right? So I kind of used those relationships, the people that I knew already, but at the same time, they were just ordinary people that
Right.
I found that were very talented in that one sector, and I felt like I was very talented in helping develop products and brands, and that's what I did for most of the artists that I work with.
It's two words that I want to use. I want to focus on, and one you already mentioned is relationships, right? And one of the things when you're called to a university to speak to the graduating or the classes there, right? A lot of kids don't understand. Young students they don't understand that how important relationship is. Can you touch on that a little bit?
Absolutely. Pierre, this brother named P, who owns Quality Control, who put Lil Baby out and the Migos, and he was one of the guys who, when I introduced rap snacks to the marketplace, he was very supportive of it. So at the time when we did the rap snacks, Amigos was one of the first items we put out, and we called it, sour cream, with a dab of ranch. And they did a song called "Get Yourself a Bag of Rap Snacks," right?
Wow.
And that's when made rap snacks go viral at the time. Because when I started 30 years ago, it wasn't anything going viral, right?
Right.
So the connection of me and P having a great relationship, he connected me to his artists, and his artists helped the brand go viral.
Love
So
it.
relationship, I can say is not only important, it's essential, to help you, scale your business.
Yeah, it's a lot of people think that entrepreneurship is easy, right? And they think it's buy it for $1, sell it for $2. But what it really is, it's relationship, it's grit, innovation, and just hard work, right? And never giving up.
Right.
Have you ever felt like in building this brand, it wasn't easy, right? It wasn't overnight. It was years to build. Was there a time in your life that you just felt like quitting or giving up? And what did you do?
Well, I won't say I felt like giving up, but I felt like it was peaks and valleys that I had to learn how to deal with. Because when you work for yourself and you're an entrepreneur, everything you do, in your business affects everything else. It affects your home life. It affects, how you deal with people every day, because it depends on what kind of mood you're in, right?
Right.
So, you know, what I always say about that is that I felt like I always loved what I was doing. And when you love what you were doing, the peaks and valleys are going to come, but eventually, you're going to be successful. And loving what you do keeps you even when, your peaks and valleys are very vulnerable.
With those young minds coming out of Delaware State University, coming out of Cheney, coming from other HBCUs, what advice would you give them according to, like, I don't want to call failures, but those valleys that you went through? What advice would you give them?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, I would say, it's always, a good thing, to be able to work for yourself and find a way to independently, become financial independent from whatever's out here, you guys are going through and your family is going through. But in addition, like I said before, you gotta love what you do. Find your passion. Find what you're good at. Find what you love to do, and everything else is going to take care of itself.
And that's true, it does. It does. And again, April 14th at DSU, you will be a featured speaker at the Innovation Adventure. Innovation, how important is that? Is it important to you and your company?
Innovation is very important, and how we innovate here at Rap Snacks is that we're always ahead of the curve, with our profiles, the way we say our profiles. If we say we have a honey barbecue, we call it barbecue with our honey, right? With my honey, but we're always leading the pack when it comes to flavor profiles. If you had, a ranch, a honey barbecue, any other flavors that they have on potatoes today, most big companies have come behind us, put that on their packaging. So innovation is very good because it segments. When somebody goes buying Rap Snacks, if they're buying a honey barbecue and nobody else has it, right? That helps your company continue to grow.
Does it?
So you got, yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, the flavor profiles. I mean, that's what Rap Snacks is known for. Outside of having the artists on our bags, I mean, we can have, anybody on our bags, but does it taste good? And can they get that flavor everywhere else? No, they can't.
So are you saying right now, and I want to be totally clear for the people that are tuning in, that is not just about the people or the branding, but the quality of food or service that you provide that is also a part of the huge piece of innovation in the product?
Absolutely. Okay, so I'll give you a marketing pitch real quick.
Okay.
Someone walks in the store, right, and they see a little baby in our bags, like, oh, that's a little baby. Okay, and then they see an all-in flavor, and the all-in flavor is vinegar, is barbecue, it's sour cream. It has all-in-one flavors, and nobody else has that on the market. And they go and buy it, and they taste it, and they love the product. That's going to facilitate, repeat business for us. Because when they come back into the store, they can only buy our product that has all those flavors in one.
I love it. Let's talk about, okay, we got the product, right? Because there's so many parts of business that people think that they overlook, right? We're talking about marketing, we're talking about advertising. Do you believe that marketing works?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's how people want to be marketed towards.
Right.
To, excuse me. They want to be marketed to, and it's how you market it to them. But we feel like everything we do has to be out the box, and it has to be trend setting. If we're setting a trend and people are chasing what we're doing, then our marketing is working. If it's not, then it's not. Our marketing is not working. So then we got a problem.
Do you believe that, like in this new world of AI, right, that is something that businesses need to implement more inside of their services and products?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, and let me just say this to you. The reason why most of our kids are behind in AI and some of these other things is just lack of information, right? And that's one of the great things about, this conference that we're having, is providing information where they can go and search for AI. Yeah. They can search for people like James Lindsay who can help them, develop brands and products. It's information is the key. Yeah. And that's something that, we hang our hat on at Rap Snacks, is providing information that what we do, and not, holding everything to ourselves, giving it all the, the information back to, the next up and coming entrepreneurs.
I love it. James, when people see you, when the black and brown kids see you, and and they're like, oh my God, that's the guy that created the snacks that I love. What do you want them to see outside of just the snacks when they hear James Lindsay, when they hear Rap Snacks?
I just want them to see that we're committed to our community. We have a big foundation here. That we work with different programs and for entrepreneurship in schools, and I'm just not an entrepreneur that's making a lot of money. Mm-hmm. I'm someone who cares about them, and wishing that I can give them what some experiences, and some experiences I've had, that they don't have to go through the bumps, and the bumps in the road that I went through.
I love it. I love it. Let's talk about community responsibility now. It's something that we all, once our brands get and our companies get going, what responsibility does Rap Snacks, does James Lindsay have for the community?
I think it's a big responsibility. With all else fails, my community have overly supported James Lindsay and the company Rap Snacks. And it's my duty to give back, to who is supporting me. And I say that to all the entrepreneurs, that are like me, that are successful, and their community is supporting them. You don't forget that's the backbone of your company. If you don't support your backbone, what's going to happen? Your foundation is not going to be there.
Yeah, collapse. James, I appreciate your time with us, man, and I know you got to go. Just a couple more questions, if you don't mind. I wanna get into. I think this is very important, and I want to just circle back real quick. Like, where did you mess up? Right? Like, it could be not returning emails when you first started. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, what they don't understand in running a $1 million company, running a big company, it takes a lot of discipline, right? And like when I first got into the TV space, I knew nothing about TV, right? And I messed up so many times. And I use my failures to let people know, you're going to fail, but it's about the rebound. Where did you mess up that you hope that the younger generation or even older generation that's watching this can say, if this brother did it, oh my God, that's where I'm at. Let me get better. Let me get back on my horse.
Yeah, I messed up because you start your business and you think it's I that's doing anything. And my brother, as soon as I got a team, that was able to help me implement my ideas, and it was just not me. And I understood that was the way that I can scale my business. Not just saying I. That's when Rap Snacks started to take off and go to another level. So I worked by myself for a long time. Yeah. But as soon as I got that team and put these brilliant brothers and sisters together to really help me grow this brand, the rest was history.
I love it. I love it. History, future. Where do you see Rap Snacks in the next 10 to 15 years?
I see Rap Snacks as an international phenomenon. Real quickly, we have a plant, in Spain that we've expanded to outside the United States, and we're working on a plant in South Africa, which we will be doing some, manufacturing and distribution. We distribute in Canada as well, and I feel like we are going to change the way people see, consumer product, black companies, because we're doing everything. We're doing honey buns, we're doing potato chips, anything. We are a 360 brand, and that's something that's going to help us, and also being able to buy other companies that have synergies to Rap Snacks. That's what we're looking to do.
I love it. Give me the two latest books that you read.
Watch Your White Guys Have All the Fun by Reginald Lewis.
Beautiful book.
I read that book. He tells you about his business, but he tells you about the trials and tribulations of being a black man in America, and really going to an industry that we have never been in, and it was very challenging on one end, but very inspirational. That's my favorite book.
Okay, all right. And God knows I was going to go off on a whole nother tangent. That'd be a whole nother show. I was like, yo, Dennis, let's start another show. But yo, no. Hey, James, I really appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Where can people find you? Social media? Go ahead and drop all that.
My social media handle is @fly1 on Instagram.
I love it. All right, James, again, thank you for joining us. If you missed it, rewind the tape. It lives forever on social media. If this was an amazing amazing interview. Fireside chat, April 14th. James Lindsay, do you want to leave people with something? The floor is yours.
I heard the tickets are sold out at Delaware State, but Delaware State is an amazing institution, and I just want everybody to continue to support them. All the black colleges. Like I went to a black college, Cheney University. Parents, send your kids to these black universities, man, because it changed my life, and it'll probably change your kid's life too.
James, thanks again, my man. I really appreciate you, good brother. And I don't believe in luck. Best for you in the future with Rap Snacks and everything that you touch. May it all turn to gold.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right, this is your main man, Big Ivy, talking to town, Mr. DETV. Make sure you tune in for our kids programming, our Every Woman Network, but most of all, our flagship, DETV, Good Morning Delaware, and don't forget Buenos Dias, Delaware. And one of the most talked about political shows in the state of Delaware, Kerwin Gaines, host of The Agenda, bipartisan, across the aisle, talking to you about everything Delaware politics. All right, I'm out of here. Peace and love to my homegirl Vincenza, coming over there for some Italian food. And I will see you on the other episode of Good Morning Wilmington, and we'll see you Monday.
What's going on, world? Blake the Brain here, and I'm standing right here in front of Delaware State University in the Capital One building, because they're teaming up once again to bring you the DSU inaugural innovation venture on April 14th on the campus of Delaware State University. What is it? Let me tell you right now. The Capital One DSU Innovation Venture is a groundbreaking national event summit that brings together innovation and entrepreneurship into one room. This event brings together HBCU students from all across the globe, as well as the next generation of innovators in the high school and middle school levels. They're going to compete for prizes and the opportunity to have their ideas and their prototypes patented. And they're going to meet with capital venturers to give them the opportunity to bring whatever ideas they have to the market, to combat the issues and the problems that we have in the agricultural industry. Listen, you can't miss this. We welcome everybody to come on out on April 14th at Delaware State University. So come on out as we change the world.